Everyone, my name is K. Shankar. I am from the Department of ECE. My roll number is 24BQ180457. I am telling the seminar about the intrinsic and extrinsic semiconductors. What is intrinsic and extrinsic semiconductors? Semiconductors are materials which we connectivity between that a conductor of an insulator. They are fundamentally to modern electronics forming the basic of the virtually all digital devices. There are three types. There are three points key to modern electronics, computers, smartphones, solar cells, and found in the group of 14 to group elements in the periodic table. And the common examples of the silicon and germanium. The intrinsic and extrinsic semiconductors have two examples. One is silicon and other one is germanium. Next one. What is intrinsic semiconductors? Intrinsic semiconductors are purely semiconductors without any added impurities, atoms, and the electrical properties are inherent to the materials itself. Intrinsic semiconductors are pure semiconductors. There are impurity atoms. Impurity atoms means non-doping and pure silicon atoms. And charge carriers is equal to the number of electrons holes generated by the thermal energy. And the low conductivity at the high room temperature increases with the temperature. At the temperature of absolute zero, behave as an insulator. As the temperature rises, covalent bond breaks the electrons. This is about the intrinsic semiconductors. And next we discuss about the extrinsic semiconductors. Extrinsic semiconductors are two types. There are impure atoms, and they are not doped from the p-type and n-type atoms. Of the four from the covalent bond, and one extra electron becomes the free charge carrier. And majority charge carriers are the N-type semiconductors, and minority charge carriers also has N-type semiconductors. Doped with the pentavalent impurities, example phosphorus. These elements have the 5 valence electrons, 4 from the covalent bond of an extra electron becomes a free charge carrier. This is about they have one doped bonding and the bond in a hole that is called silicon valency in the N-type doping. And next about the P-type doping. Doped with a trivalent about trivalent of the impurities. Example boron. These elements have the three valence electrons, creating a hole in the lattice which acts as a positive charge carrier. There are also have two charge carriers, majority majority carrier holes and the minority carrier holes. This is the representation of the Fourier inpainting of the intrinsic semiconductors. And next one is the what is difference between intrinsic semiconductors and extrinsic semiconductors. Intrinsic semiconductors are pure semiconductors and they are not doped. Doping. In intrinsic semiconductors they have no impurities and extrinsic semiconductors are control impurities added and the intrinsic semiconductors are conductivity have low temperature and the dependent and extrinsic semiconductors have the high controllability and the future. The intrinsic semiconductors are charge carriers with the equal number of electrons and the extrinsic semiconductors are majority of the electrons n-type and p-type electrons and the intrinsic semiconductors are temperature effect. They are strongly influenced by the temperature and the less influenced by the temperature. And the next intrinsic semiconductors practically used, limited, premiumly research, and the next intrinsic semiconductors are widely used in the electronics. The ability of the control conductivity through doping is making what happening in extrinsic semiconductors are the inaccessible. And next the applications of the modern technology in extrinsic semiconductors and intrinsic semiconductors are the modern technology. There are diodes in PN junction, P-type and N-type allows the current in the direction and the transistors to pull a digital circuit used to switching theory and amplification and the integrated circuit. Integrated circuits are ICs, millions of the transistors and other components of a single chip and the solar cells convert light energy into the electrical energy using the photovoltaic effect. This is about the solar cell and this next LED. LED means light emitting diode convert from the electrical energy into the light. Semiconductors are possible virtually all modern electrons and devices. This is about the applications of the modern technology in the intrinsic and extrinsic semiconductors. The fundamental differences are of the intrinsic semiconductors are the pure with limited temperature depends upon the conductivity and extrinsic semiconductors are doped with the controlled and the enhanced at conductivity. The power of doping. Doping creates the n-type electrons majority and p-type hole majority materials from the performing the basic p-n junction diodes and the complex devices, enabling the modern electronics. From the microscope of a solar panels, the precedes control the semiconductor's properties is essentially for the almost all the compatibility technology. This is about the intrinsic and extrinsic semiconductors. Thank you for giving this opportunity.